Good. Today I wish to raise the serious concerns around the fact that agriculture relevance in the EU policy sphere is diminishing, and that's obvious to all of us, where we are now witnessing that Brussels and increasingly in Dublin, from the Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and the Green Party, that it seems to be cows' days are numbered, and that's a pity. In fact, there is a situation that was highlighted in a letter signed by 16 EU ministers, agricultural ministers, in February. And I wonder, did Minister McConnell sign that, sent to the Swedish EU presidency, complaining about the serious risk of the marginalisation within agriculture's role within the EU policy making at the time. One thing is now certain, both here in Ireland and across the EU bloc, that increased space devoted to climate and environmental challenges is depriving farmers and the food sector in general of the opportunity to produce food at low cost. The dramatic shift in focus and policy here and in Brussels is leaving farmers feeling as though they have been bypassed by environmental priorities, and that's quite obvious to them. We have witnessed here with the government pushing ahead with forced reductions in livestock industrial emissions simply because the bureaucrats in Brussels and here in Dublin want to see this happen. The shift in policy is creating considerable problems for consumers, with food inflation on the rise and the farmers facing some of the toughest times in recent history, where there is only one, and this climatic condition will always there, squeezed between skyrocketing feed, input and energy costs also. It is also clear that the area of competence for agriculture within the policy making area that makes up the EU institutions is now also shrinking, because of the unveiling of the EU's flagship environmental policy, the so-called Green Deal. The deal is not only instrumental to agriculture, but also to rural economies, yet it has been embraced as a silver bullet by this government, despite damaging effects on rural communities. In fact, when the full part of the Green Deal and the Farm to Fork strategy was presented to the EU agricultural heads, it was totally, shocking to us here as rural independents, and we're calling on government here for complete clarity in this area. It's just not acceptable. We won't have an agri-industry if it continues on this vein.